A very warm welcome to all our students and parents. So I am Dr. Bhuvana, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering. I have 20 years of teaching experience and I specialized in database systems, data warehouse, data mining and operating systems. And also I well versed in programming languages, C, C++, Java and Python. My area of research interest includes data analytics, information retrieval, and cyber security. And I published a number of papers with good journal and citation. And so most of you are meritorious and got admission in PhD item. But I would say the real race will start from here only. So you should be both strong in technical as well as conceptually very strong. And you plan yourself to start your race and win the game. All the best. Thank you for an opportunity to interact. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide.
Good morning, everybody. I trust you are all fine. And I am Dr. I. Kala, currently working as Associate Professor in the Department of CSE in PhD ITech. I am one of the tutors for your class. So I welcome every one of you to CSE Department. And I am the alumnus of College of Engineering, Indiana University, Chennai. And I am having 19 years of engineering college teaching experience. And I am the tutor as well as I am the IEI Students Chapter Coordinator. Actually, our PhD ITech having an Institution of Engineers Professional Chapter. So for that, which will excel you, caliber you, and which will mold you for all the co-curricular and extracurricular activities. I am one of the coordinator for you. So we are all here for you to excel in your career. Okay, so I welcome every one of you and we will support you in all the ways. Thank you so much.
Good morning all. I am Dr. Sumati, faculty of CSE. I welcome you all for our CSE department. So currently I am handling computer networks for your seniors, third year CSE. And I do also handle computer architecture, programming in C, cryptography and network security. My research interests are 4G and 5G communications and SDN network. And also I hold the responsibility of the faculty in charge for department association. So this is a very good platform for you to indulge in the co-curricular activities. And we do conduct ICTAHA, the technical symposium, yearly once it will be conducted. This association is a platform and organization where you have your seniors as chairman, secretary, joint secretary, cashier, and as well as the executive members. So I welcome you all, and also I expect you to participate enthusiastically in all the co-curricular activities and in the ICTAHA also. Thank you and welcome again.
Good morning, students. Myself, Dr. Mahavishnu. I'm working in this institution for the past 4 years, and my teaching would be in the areas of digital image processing, computer graphics. I would be handling software engineering and related subjects like OS, and I also teach C programming, and the major area of interest for me is in image processing. I handle classes in the big data analytics and image processing. Currently, I'm in charge for the drone research laboratory in our college, and I'm also taking care of the entire college website, and I welcome you all for the CSE department. Thank you.
Okay, very good morning all. On behalf of CSE, once again welcome you. Myself, Savriram, working as Assistant Professor in Department of CSE. I will teach the subjects like programming, data structure, algorithms. My research interests are cloud computing and compiler design. Maybe in your second or third year, I will handle the subjects like compiler design, programming specific subjects. So again, I welcome you all. So as a tutor, I welcome you all again. Arvind sir.
Yes, sir. Let me introduce myself. So, good morning, students.
Arvind sir.
Sir, I have connected, sir.
Sir, please introduce yourself. Sir.
Okay, sir. Okay. So, good morning to one and all. Myself, Arvind Raj, Assistant Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. And subjects that I do handle.
Sir, your voice is not audible.
Sir, the voice issue is with the seminar hall. It is clearly audible in the Zoom meet. Guys, can you hear me? Is it audible? Students?
Slightly audible, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. So I'm handling Python programming and internet programming for the students. And I'm also one of the website coordinators for the whole college and the department website coordinator too. So hope to meet you guys soon. Stay safe. Thank you.
Vidya ma'am? Hello? Vidya ma'am? Okay, good morning all. I'm Vilashini. I think you are all familiar with my name. I'm the person who sent all your Zoom links for the past 2 days. My profile, you'll be viewing it the website, my subject expertise and other things. And I'm the faculty handling operating system, Python programming and mobile computing and so on. So I just want to share 2 points, 2 views of life here, since you people are entering to the next phase of a life, transforming from school to college. The first thing is a path, the life path. Taking a life path, that is very important. So you all have chosen PSG ITech here for the next 4 years. Always have it in mind. There is nothing like a good path or a bad path, a wrong or a right. Life la oru situation la edha oru vishayam sarin solradhukku 10 பேர் இருக்காங்கன்னா தப்புன்னு சொல்றதுக்கு அந்த இடத்துல 10 பேர் இருப்பாங்க கண்டிப்பா லைஃப்ல. Always have it in mind. So why I'm saying this, because you are going to frame your path, right? You people are going to frame your path. The decision that you are going to take in the 4 years of life is very important. So think twice before you take a decision. To check whether you are in the right path or not, always have 3 things. First, you should be happy with that path. Second, you should feel comfortable in traveling in that path. And third, it's like you should check whether you're moving forward in that path. If you're not moving forward, then you have to think a while, hold on, think a while. There is a need to take a diversion, kindly take a diversion. So this is the one thing I want to say. Second one is the happiness. So be happy. Always happiness is the ultimate goal of our life. Be happy. Finally, this is a next home for you people, a new home, and I'm sure that it's going to be a sweet and lovely home. I welcome you all to experience the taste of PSD. Welcome all. We'll see you in the college. Thank you.
Good morning, students. I am Dr. S. Aramudhakannan, Associate Professor, Department of Mathematics, this prestigious PhD high-tech. First of all, I would like to congratulate all of you for getting admission in this wonderful institution. I joined with our Professor Ilango. He mentioned that our college is doing exceptionally well in the academics. You might have seen the academic performance of Anna University for the past 6 years. We are always in the top position. So this wonderful achievement is possible only due to our dedicated faculty members of PhD high-tech. Okay, some extent I can say it is not a staff members team, it is a family member. Always know whenever a key person from PSG will address you, they always mention that PSG is a family. Okay, I welcome you, all of you, to this PSG family, a newborn member of this PSG institution. Apart from that, regarding myself, I'm having 23 years of experience, 20 years of experience in academics and 3 years in industry. I completed my doctorate in optimization technique, which is very relevant to your computer science. Okay, and regarding my additional responsibilities in this institution, I have given exam cell coordinator. Whatever be the doubts regarding your exams, don't hesitate. I jointly with Dr. Lata, looking after the exam cell activities of this institution. Apart from that, இந்த கல்லூரியினுடைய தமிழ் மன்ற ஒருங்கிணைப்பாளராக நான் நியமிக்கப்பட்டிருக்கிறேன். உங்களுக்கான அந்த ஒவ்வொரு மன்றங்களினுடைய ஒருங்கிணைப்பாளர் நிகழ்விலே உங்களை சந்திக்கிறேன். தமிழில் ஆர்வம் உள்ள மாணவர்கள், உங்களுடைய ஆர்வங்களும் உங்களுடைய விருப்பங்களும் இனிதே வரவேற்கப்படுகின்றன. Coming back to the academics, regarding computer science is concerned, you are going to write 5 papers. Okay, starting with engineering mathematics 1, engineering mathematics 2, discrete mathematics, probability queuing theory, and finally you are going to have algebra and number theory. So totally 5 papers you are going to write. So students, be relaxed. What you have studied in your higher secondary, same thing will be repeated in your engineering mathematics 1. You are all having a very good cutoff. So feel free and you can participate actively in engineering mathematics. Once the normalcy returns, we are very eagerly waiting to meet you in person. Thank you. I once again welcome you all for this wonderful institution. Thank you.
Good morning, all present here. On behalf of Physics Department, I welcome you all to the PhD high-tech. Myself, Tangaraju, working as Assistant Professor, Department of Physics. I have done my PhD at Anna University, Guindy. Overall, I have 3 years postdoctoral experience and 3 years teaching experience. My specialization is mostly dealing with materials. If you have any modeling idea, you can directly relate with me. So welcome you all. Thank you.
Good morning to all. I am Dr. Lata. I am handling chemistry for you. I am the HOD of Department of Chemistry. So we handling that basic science. You study physics, chemistry, maths in the first year. So you select a college. For that, I thank you to all. So you have some goals to achieve something in your life. So for that, you select our college as a ladder. So we are in the tough first step. So we are ready to help to cross the tough first year. So we ready to give a hand to you to climb up your ladder. Good students, thank you. We welcome on again to our college. Okay. And also next for chemistry lab, me and Dr. K. Balaji handle for your lab class. Now Dr. K. Balaji talk to you.
Good morning, friends. I am Dr. Balaji, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry. I am also one of the faculty members, team of faculty members, came from PSG Tech. I joined in the PSG institution in 2008, more than 10 years of interaction with the PSG family. And then I am a anti-ragging committee member, so you can interact at any time. Regarding the academics, I am teaching an engineering chemistry laboratory along with our Professor Lada Madam. So I hope we have a good journey in the next semester. And then in the second semester, we have an environmental science and engineering subject. So we hope another 1 year, we will have a good interaction with you. Okay, I hope in another upcoming 4 years, you have a memorable journey in PSG ITech. And then I did my PhD in the area of polymer chemistry. And then we have a polymer engineering laboratory in our institution. So many students in our engineering department are closely associated to work with us. So if you are interested, you can come and meet, and then we can work along with them. Okay. Okay, with this note, so I hope everyone has a good journey in our PhD ITech for another 4 years. Thank you.
So again, Vilashni in line. So you all know that college has an NCC women wing. I just need the new entries for the NCC, and I'm the NCC faculty in charge for our college, women for the women wing. So girl students who are all interested to join NCC, or if you are in school, if you are in NCC and you want to continue NCC in college, I need your name list because we have to enroll it before November 15th. So you all know my mail ID. I'm sure that you will be receiving the mail regularly through my mail ID only. So kindly respond to that. Those who are interested to join NCC, I need your name list. People who want to join government jobs, civil services exam, if you're interested to do that, you can join NCC. NCC will help you people. So kindly give the names. Okay, thank you. Ma'am, Niranjani ma'am, Vidya ma'am, and Divaharan sir, Lashmi ma'am, we request you to give your introduction in the Zoom itself. Vidya ma'am, are you there? Niranjani ma'am?
Ma'am, can I start?
Yeah, yes ma'am.
Yeah, good morning everybody. Welcome you all to this college. I'm Niranjani. I'm presently working as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. And my area of expertise is theory of computation, data structures and programming. And I'm presently doing my PhD in Anna University under optimization techniques. So actually your life and its path depends on how you shape it in these 4 years. So I'm very happy to welcome you all to this prestigious institute. Thank you.
Divaharan sir, Lashmi ma'am, are you in the line? Divaharan sir, Lashmi ma'am, Vidya ma'am. I think a few of our faculty yet to introduce themselves. So we will do it at the end of the session. We'll continue with the presentation, HOD's presentation.
Thank you, faculty members, for your wonderful inputs. So I am Manimeglai, the head of the department. I have 25 years of experience. I am alumnus of PhD Tech, College of Engineering, Gindi, Anna University, and IIT Madras. So I used to handle algorithms, data structures, computer architecture, and my research interests include distributed computing, security, and VLSI FPGA algorithms, IoT applications. Okay, our next resource person has also joined. So good morning, sir, Leslie Kumar. I'll take another 10 or 15 minutes to complete it. So what is engineering? Engineering allows you to do impossible things. Basically, we know the applications of how the science and innovation in engineering, applied engineering applications are helping us to lead our life in a comfortable way. So engineering is the application of scientific knowledge to solve the problems in the real world. So engineers are supposed to be producing creative solutions to real world problems. We can say that with minimal resources. So we can say that it is all frugal solutions, right? Cost effective or optimal cost solutions, because that is the need of for the nation. So what is the expected triads and skills required in the job market? Curiosity, desire to figure things out, creativity, design thinking, mathematical skills. We need to pay attention to details. When we are implementing something, we should be able to, before even you start coding, we should be able to identify what is the function names, what are the modules to be implemented, what are the functions that need to be implemented, even the input-output parameters, all these details you should be knowing. So, of course, the mechanical skills, hands-on skills, strong analytical mind and the technical knowledge, whatever the subjects we are learning, we need to have thorough and basic, strong understanding the fundamentals. That is very much required for interviews, placement interviews. Definitely, we need to have communication, people skills, listening and problem-solving skills. We need to be a good team player to excel in whatever we do. Interpersonal and leadership skills are very, very important. We need to develop during this 4-year stint. In PSG Tech, we provide a lot of opportunities to improve yourselves in all these areas, all these triads and skills. Okay, even if you are planning to become managers in the career path, definitely engineers are definitely better managers than others. Okay, this slide basically shows some of the possible opportunities, better opportunities in various walks of life, even in other walks of life. Okay. So at the end, probably you should be knowing Palani Kumanan, who got a Pulitzer Award. He is a product of PSG Tech. Similarly, former IPS officer Annamalai is also a product of PSG Tech. We have the Syed, who is the Vijay TV fame super singer. He is also product of PSG Tech. I'm sure PhD institutions, students from PhD institutions, they go and excel in whatever they do in various walks of life. So basically, coming to computer science and engineering, basically it is an application of electrical and electronics digital technologies to create computer hardware or software, automation of various industrial applications by writing computer programs. It supports computing, software, IT and IT-enabled services, service requirements for all domains. So what makes it fun, right? It helps us to use mathematical and hardware concepts to visualize almost anything and create things out of imagination. So computer programs helps in automating everything, right from grocery shop to satellite launching space stations. So we have a lot of opportunities in almost every domain. Some of the company opportunities and companies, job roles I have listed in this particular slide. These are all different job roles. Every job role demands definitely a certain skill set. In these 4 years, you are supposed to improve, you are supposed to focus on building your skill set in various domains, because undergraduate degree is not going to be a specialization. So it is good that you have to focus on at least 4 or 5 skill sets and improve on that particular skill set, so that you can go and pick it up any job in the market. And some of the CSE and IT companies also I have listed. Many of these companies are visiting PSG, iTech and PSG Tech. A lot of your seniors are working in these companies. So a typical career path of our computers are software engineer. I have drawn it here. So we start as a software trainee or software engineer in the beginning. It is important that we need to know the job hierarchy, right? Only when you know the job hierarchy in a particular organization you are working for, you will be able to pick up the skills or traits required for the next level and improve and quickly grow in the particular career ladder. So typically a software engineer becomes a project leader, project manager, senior project manager, director, senior director, VP, then CTO. Okay. Hopefully you can also start your own company. Hope some of your classmates will turn up entrepreneurs. So we need to walk that extra mile during the 4-year stint at PHG Tech. So PHG Tech provides a lot of such opportunities. You can participate in coding and design contests, codathons, hackathons. We need to be very active in professional society memberships for conducting, coordinating various programs. You need to present papers in conferences. You can do a lot of mini projects. Definitely every semester you will be implementing a mini project, and you will be converting that as a conference or journal paper, depending on the work you have done. So you have some internships. Internships also we need to focus on, and at least 1 or 2 internships we need to complete within this 4-year stint or 3-year stint before you go for a placement. So we need to create a win-win situation with the faculty members, meaning we need to help the faculty members in whatever research and teaching learning activities they do. At the same time, we need to take help from the students. They have to take help from the faculty members to build their skill set and domain knowledge. So expectations from fresh engineers, definitely thorough knowledge in basics and strong fundamentals. They don't expect very, very advanced concepts and all that. Whatever you read every semester, all the subjects, please be thorough in fundamentals. And of course, we need to be, one of the program outcomes is says lifelong learning. Your learning doesn't stop with a BE degree. We have to be ready in learning to learn continuously in the workplace as well. We need to have the right attitude and aptitude towards learning to gain knowledge. We need not learn for the sake of marks, but we have to learn for the sake of learning and for the sake of knowledge. So we also need to improve our soft skills, which include verbal, written, and people skills. And we need to definitely improve our ability to work in a team. Instead of achieving individual results, it will be good if you are able to produce visible team results. Okay, we need to have strong programming because we are going to be software engineers, and our primary talent, primary skill set requirement is coding and programming. So we need to excel in that. We need to sharpen our coding skills. Of course, we need to have leadership and taking initiative qualities as well. So this slide basically shows higher as a head of the department. I also need to say that you need to be open. You need to have plans for your what you are going to do after 4 years of your UG undergraduate degree, right? So one option is writing a GATE. From 3rd semester onwards, we can prepare for GATE exam. Whether you are going to write GATE exam or not, it will be useful. Preparation for exam, GATE exam is helpful in getting a good job in good company. Okay, because it sharpens your technical skills. Okay, GATE score is also a requirement if you need job in government and public sector units such as ISRO, DRDO, Army, IAS, and etc. And even if you apply for project or research associate positions in IITs, you need to have GATE score. One more point I would like to highlight here is, if you are having more than 8 CGPA at the end of the 4th year, here you will be learning new terms. It is no more marks or percentage of marks, right? It is, I am sure, like in 10th, or if you have done your schooling in CBSE, I think that also shows your marks in CGPA in terms of CGPA. If you have more than 8 out of 10 CGPA, if you are having eligible GATE score, you are eligible to do a direct PhD with 30,000 rupees as stipend from MHRD. Okay, that is also a very good career option. Then of course you have, you can go for plan to write GRE, TOEFL, IELTS exams for MS and PhD at leading foreign, to do MS and PhD in leading foreign universities based on your score. Similarly, CAT and GMAT for doing MBA at IIMs and abroad. Okay, there are several scholarships for doing PG degree and PhD degree also. Higher studies is also one of the good option, because in India, every year more than 4 lakhs of engineers are produced, right? So you don't have to stop only with UG degree. So it is important that it is definitely an advantage. You will be having an edge over others if you are having additional degree. So that also you can plan it from right from the 3rd semester onwards. Okay, I would like to end with a quote. Luck is what happens when preparation meets the favored mind. Preparation meets the opportunities. Chance favors the prepared mind. Thank you, and best wishes for bright engineering future. We have Mr. Leslie Kumar, who is connected to give you more inputs on industry expectations. Over to Arvind. Arvind, please go ahead.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, dear HOD ma'am and dear faculty members for introducing yourselves and introducing about the department. எனைத்தானும் நல்லவை கேட்க அனைத்தானும் ஆன்ற பெருமை தரும். நல்லவற்றை எந்த அளவுக்கு கேட்கிறோமோ அந்த அளவுக்கு பெருமை கிடைக்கும் என்ற நம்பிக்கையுடன் இருக்க வேண்டும். Research shows that you begin learning in the womb and go right on learning until the moment you pass on. Your brain has a capacity for learning that is virtually limitless, which makes every human a potential genius. You don't understand anything until you learn it more than one way. Now, I invite Dr. Aikala, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, to introduce our chief guest.
Again, good morning, everybody. I'm highly privileged to unveil the profile of today's speaker, Mr. Leslie Jitin Kumar. He has 8 years of experience in the IT industry with exposure to various verticals. He has graduated from Karunya University, BTech IT in the year 2008-12. He started his career as an intern in Accenture after BTech and presently working in the same Accenture for a large international oil and gas company as his client for a stint here so far. He was originally trained as a functional consultant in SAP, materials management, and then later specialized in manufacturing and quality control. Since last 3 years, he has been working as domain manager for the supply logistics division of the client. He has been handled a multinational team of specialists that designs solutions and maintains business flows for the client's global operations and logistics in their ERP system. I'm highly honored to welcome Mr. Leslie Jitin Kumar. Sir, please take over the session. Over to Leslie, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that fantastic introduction. Hello, everybody. Good morning. My name is Leslie. I hope I'm audible. Can you please confirm?
You're audible, sir.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Yeah, I can see I don't have screen sharing option, so probably you can present the slides. Hope everybody in the meeting is doing safe and well, and your families are all safe and well in these times. Please do take care, hydrate well, and take care of yourselves. All right, yeah. Maybe you can put in presentation mode. Perfect, thank you, ma'am. Okay, so this is it, here we are. Welcome to the technology industry. You are officially now CSE students, which means you will end up in one way or the other being related to technology industry. So maybe the next slide. Before I begin the talk on what we do and what are the options of the future, I'll give a brief introduction on who I am. Now, for any person, there are two versions of us. There is a version you are proud of for yourself, that you think is good about you. And then there's a version of yourself your parents are proud of, that they like to tell other people. So the version of myself that I'm proud of is that I'm a full-time employee for the last 8 years of the same company, and I'm a complete nerd. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. Every year I read all the 7 books of Harry Potter as a tradition without fail. And I do a lot of gaming, especially with Mass Effect. I avidly watch Netflix, and I collect Hot Wheels cars. I have around 300 cars, all of them cataloged, some of them limited edition, some of them worth more than 1,000 rupees, a single car. And it is something I'd really like to do as a hobby since the last 8 years. Now, the version of me that my parents are quite proud of. I graduated in the 2012 batch in BTech IT from Karunya University. I was placed in 3 companies in the Lot 1 placement, and I chose Accenture out of the 3 because at that time, that was the most international company that had come during rounds of placements that year. And since then, I've stuck on. I started on as an intern and then made my way through being an ASC, Associate Software Engineer, and then a software engineer, then senior software engineer, and then domain manager now for the client since the last 3 years. So for the first 5 years, I got promoted almost every other year. And when I got to a position that I'm quite comfortable with, and I like when I'm handling multiple teams. I've kept myself here, and the client is happy to have me here. My client is a large oil and gas company. They have worldwide operations, and I take care of the supply logistics division in its entirety. So apart from France, where they're based from, all the other countries, all their operations, their system maintenance, their solution designs, I take care of via Accenture. The next slide, please. Okay, now we come to the interesting bit. Who all of you might be in 10 years from now. Now, you need to understand that just because you're in the CSE field does not limit your options in your career to just being in the IT industry. The IT industry today, I generally don't like using the term IT industry, I use technology industry. Because in 2020, when I look at where all IT is involved, it is everywhere. In aeronautics, in defense, in cooking even. So you can always take the technology route, or you can use your degree as a backup or a fail-safe for you. Something you do have to understand from my experience I've seen, even with my freshers and juniors who join under me, a college degree is one of the most important things you can achieve. Your 10th and 12th were, I'm sure your parents would have forced you, your teachers would have said the same thing, but your degree is something that will speak for you no matter what country you're in, no matter what company you're in, no matter wherever you are. So fundamentally, when I look at all the students who come into the company or all of you who get a new job 4 years from now, there are mainly two kinds of people. There's one who I call the archer, who are completely sure of where they want to be and who they want to be. Like, I want to be a chef in 10 years. I like cooking, or I want to be a photographer, or I want to be a soldier. That's what I want to do. That's my aim in life. And then there's another group of people, the explorers, who are not sure what to do now, who don't really have a very clear aim, but are determined to be successful in whatever they're given or whatever they do. I was always an explorer. I was never really ambitious. I never had like, okay, I need to be the manager of a company or the CEO of a company or start something on my own. It was never a thing. For me, from the beginning, my lifetime ambition was to retire as quick as possible, as comfortable as possible. I'm being completely candid. The professors and HOD ma'am, please forgive me if I'm being a little too candid. But yeah, so to each their own. But I know friends who are completely focused, who who love to be in the industry, who are game designers and love their job and have always wanted to be game designers and all of that. Use this time in your college to identify who you are, where you are. These next 10 years of your life, the time before you hit 30, is where you can achieve where you want to be for the rest of your life. And a college degree that you do is extremely important. The branch that you're in now, CSE, is extremely important. Because even if you are somebody there who is sitting in your chair and thinking, I want to be a chef and I want to be something completely non-IT related, believe me, it is one out of hundreds of chefs that actually make it successful in today's, and it's a competitive industry. And you always need a fail back, a fail safe. Always do the smart thing. A degree is either the stepping stone for your career in that particular branch, or it is a backup for anything that you want to do in life. So all of you here as engineering students have taken the right decision of getting a degree in your life. Forget everything. The first thing that people ask for when they're thinking of getting you married or in any matrimonial site is a degree that you have, even before you put in your name. So fantastic. Congratulations, guys, for that. I will open up a session for questions, formal and informal, towards the end. So I think by now you guys would have guessed I'm not your very typical guest who likes to keep things formal. You can be completely candid and ask me questions, and we can have an informal session, if that's okay. In the middle, if you feel you have to stop me and have a burning question that cannot wait until the end, please put it on the chat, and I will definitely address it at that point of time. Yes, please, admin. The next slide, please. Okay, before this question, I think if it is okay, admin, like I just want to hear the voices of everybody on the chat. All of you are connected, all the students. Can I get a good morning or a hello or something, just a feedback?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes, sir.
All of you together? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Oh, good.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Oh, that's nice. You guys are chatting it down as well. That's fantastic. I can imagine all of you are fresh out of school, so that tone, whenever the teacher enters, we say, "Good morning, sir." That tone is still there. Most probably that'll change after college once you deal with professors, but then that's good to hear. So the reason why I did that was we've been in lockdown. I've been working from home for the last 6 or 7 months, and I've not seen more than 3 people at a time. So it's good to hear a lot of people actually voicing out over the call. So thank you guys. Thank you for that. Now, an important question. Does it matter what college you graduate from? Drum roll. Can you go to the next slide, please, admin? Yes. In one word, yes. I graduated from one of the top deemed universities at that time in 2012 when I did. And I can tell you for a fact, as somebody who actually learned from that college, I did not see how it made sense. There were some of my professors who could not even speak English. Me and a few others wrote the recitations for them and you know, all of those things. So it always was a question to me and a lot of the NRI students who were actually there, because my college had a lot of NRIs. It was a Christian college, and parents thought if they leave their kids to a Christian college, they would improve. That is usually not true. It depends on the people, but then, you know, that's what parents think. So I did learn that the name of the college which you're in plays a huge part. And I don't know if any of you know, my brother graduated from PSG iTech this year. And I can tell you for a fact, his experience of college and engineering was completely different of mine. For me, I was quite independent ever since from 16 years old. I've been working different jobs. I've worked as a choreographer, as an event manager. I think when I ended up in IT in Accenture, it was my 6th job, which I stayed on with as a professional after I graduated. So until then, I always kept myself busy, didn't have too many friends in college. All the weekends I was working because I felt I had to make my own part-time money and everything. And college was just something I needed to do because I promised my dad I would get him a degree. And right now I realize having a degree is one of the most important backups and something really important in your life, which I can share with you. For my brother, it was completely different. He loved his college. When he woke up, the first thing he wanted to do was to go to college. Honestly, we are completely different. I've not seen somebody enjoy his studies as much as he did. I was completely surprised when I saw the companies that came for placements. I can attest for a fact that the starting salaries that are being given by PSG and PSG iTech now by the companies coming in are one of the highest in India. You guys are in a fantastic place to start your future in a successful way. I've seen him do a lot of workshops, and there were many technologies. So when I was put into an IT job, anything and everything that I'd learned, Java, C, and everything was completely irrelevant for the position I was trained in, because I was directly put into ERP. And as a business consultant, someone who did not have to code, and there were a lot of other people who were put into, you know, machine learning and RPAs. So when I see the papers that he's been studying over the last 2 years, the curriculum has caught up with where the industry is. You guys are learning AI, basics of AI. You guys are learning the algorithms required. You guys are learning RPA and machine learning. Things people who graduated from my year are finding a hard time to deal with today. So congratulations on the first step that you guys have taken. You guys have definitely ended up in one of, or if not the best college, where it's a stepping stone to where you need to be in the future. So all I can say is make the best use of it. I think that's the same thing everybody would iterate, but you know, I'm just giving you a third person's view on how this college is a little different from the other colleges out there, and why you, at your point, need to use all the workshops and the laboratories and all the facilities that they have to attain your career goals and your ambitions that you've set for your life. Because let me tell you one thing, once you leave college and get out into the world as an independent professional, the facilities will be the first thing you miss. Not having a decent canteen, not having software licenses or things in the computer that you can freely check, not having subject matter experts, your professors, your assistant professors, to ask doubts to get it cleared. You will be completely on your own. So use that backup, that framework that is set up properly for the next 4 years, so that you guys edify yourselves as much as possible before you go out into the world. Again, let me tell you, that does not mean, sir, I like my college a lot, so I'm just going to fail and stay here for the next 10 years. No, that is not what I mean. Do hard work, do smart work, graduate fantastically, get into great jobs, or become a photographer, become a soldier, do whatever you do it properly. Okay, next slide. Can we, admin, the next slide, please? Hello. Ma'am, sir, admin, anybody on control? Ah, perfect. Thank you. Okay, now I will touch upon those topics which are in high demand in the IT industry today, or in the technology industry today. That maybe you might not hear or face in college and that you might be related to later. Okay, so before this, I would like to share something about my personal experience. I graduated in BTech IT. So your data structures, your framework, your C coding, C++. In fact, my final year project was creating an Android app to connect multiple devices even before it became a thing. So I was really, really involved in coding and that that environment then. The thing with placements is you join into a company and then you put into a profile that you're best suited for. So I was put into SAP, which is an ERP. I will explain what that is after. So that is something that was not at all touched in my 4 years of my graduation. So then you learn to understand what it is. And my position for the last 8 years, I've been a professional. I've not written a single line of code, which served me well because though I liked coding, I didn't want to do it forever. There are some of my friends who love coding and change jobs because they wanted to stay with coding and write programs. I was not one of them. I was directly put into a consulting position. Essentially, petrochemical engineers and manufacturing engineers will be in that position. I was put into business consulting, where I directly consult with the client, find out what they want, and then create solutions, check which technology would suit them. And so from what I design and create, it will then be forwarded on to the programmers to get it done. So what I found out in the last 8 years, even though I'm not directly coding, my degree helped me a lot in the kind of work that I do. Because believe it or not, in today's world, anywhere and wherever you go, there is a computer related. Even if you're gonna start your own restaurant or start your own garage to fix cars, you're gonna have a computer at the end of the day where you do data entry of all your spare parts, all your expenses, all of that. It again turns back to software. And knowing how to use a computer, how to make use of technology, and all of its productive uses is the basics that you will learn in your CSE or IT degree, which no matter what your field is, it will definitely come to help you later, especially on the data structures, the way programs work, because that is a fundamental that will not change no matter what language is used. So what are the high demand technology jobs today? Most of the jobs that you'll get today. Next slide, please. Yeah, so ERP. Um, Okay, just a show of hands or maybe a type of keyboard. How many of you have heard what an ERP is or heard of SAP, SAP? You can probably just, put yes or no on the chat, or if I don't know if there's a show of hands option in Zoom. Perfect. One person yes, one person no. No, perfect. Yeah, even if it's no, it's completely okay. There are no right or wrong answers. Why are you sorry? There's no reason to be sorry about. Okay, no, yeah, perfect. So a majority of you are exactly where I was. So I go into Accenture, they put me in a training for SAP MM, SAP MM, material management, and completely confused because ERPs are something we don't deal with. So I'll give you a brief overview of what ERPs are. ERP is essentially a huge software, to put it in one line. All kinds of companies are big companies, Boeing, Total, Shell, Microsoft, even software companies or product companies, Parley, all these companies have a lot of operations. They've got a manufacturing division where raw materials come in, and then let me take one particular example. What does everybody like? I think everybody likes chocolate. So yeah, I'll take an example of chocolate. Let's say Dairy Milk. Cadbury's, for example. Cadbury's has a huge ERP running for them because they've got so many divisions. They've got a division for manufacturing where they procure milk, chocolate, cocoa powder, and sugar from different vendors, and then that is then converted into your finished chocolate product. And then there's another line where these products are then packaged. And then once manufacturing is done, you need to sell them. So you have a whole marketing division. You have sales offices, people who sell them, who manage the goods, a packing division. Then trucks and ships and planes come in to get them all over the world. On top of all these, you have people who are working. So how do you pay them? You have HR, you have payroll. Now, it is not practical for big companies like that to use a single program for each of these activities because it becomes a nightmare. So ERPs are essentially product solutions, a one product solution that does all of this. One huge software where you can track and maintain and control your manufacturing, track and maintain and control your finances, track and maintain and control your sales, all of it. They are extremely expensive. They are extremely hard to maintain. They're huge because the amount of data that they deal with on a per second basis is immense. So the client that I work for, in fact, the division that I work for, supply logistics, we use SAP. So SAP is one of the hottest and the most used ERP in the world today. It is made by a German company. The full form of SAP is Systems, Applications, and Products in German. That's it. That's a name because Germans are like that. Germans don't like playing around with words. If they build a car, they will name it the car. That's it. So similarly, so SAP is a huge ERP that is created by the company SAP, System, Applications, and Products. There are other players as well, Sage, Oracle, and all of them, but for smaller clients, they are. If you see any company of the Fortune 500, most of them are under SAP. They use SAP as a ERP. So I'll have a question answer session at the end if you have more questions on this, because this is a subject where I'm quite well versed in. I will definitely take up your questions on that. Now, the important thing to realize is, even though it's a word you've not heard of, even though it might be a word you might not hear during your 4 years in degree, the basics, the pillars on which they are built are completely taught in college. In fact, for SAP, it is if you strip everything away and look at the bare bone code, or the program and how it's created, it is pure Java plus Oracle. That is read fetch statements and Java object oriented programming. So some of my batchmates who got into, so the programming language in SAP is called ABAP. That is the technical word for it. They were able to do really, really well off the boat. If you were good in Java, you were automatically good in SAP coding. And there's one of my friends, essentially, who loved coding. So if you love coding, or if you have all of these options are available in IT, there are so many non-coding jobs available in the industry today that is still under IT. Things that Amazon does, the things that even Accenture does, business consulting, technology consulting. So there are a lot of open avenues for you. So you always keep that in mind and do that research beforehand before you go for your placement, so you understand what kind of job you're going for and what you're kind of looking for. Okay, yeah. So the next slide, please. AI and RPA. Okay, just give me 1 second. I'll just have a sip of. Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah. Now AI and RPA. You will hear these terms so much in your next 4 years, and after your 4 years, for the rest of your life, as long as you're in the technology industry, until you retire. These are close to jargon now. They are the hottest topics that are being spoken in all companies. All the companies want it. All the companies want to use it, because in one way or the other, these are used to reduce costs for the companies. Now, there are fundamental differences between what an AI is, an artificial intelligence, and what an RPA is, a robotic process automation. So I'm not going to read out what I've written, because you guys can do that for yourself. I'm just going to explain for your understanding on what the main difference is between these both, and how they are implemented in your day-to-day life or by your companies. So artificial intelligence is a highly complex byword. It is essentially, we need to the dream is to create a program or a software that can effectively think for itself. So there are a lot of laws governing it. We have not really created a true AI as of yet, a computer, or a software that can think for itself and take decisions on its own based on its own processes. But we are getting close, and it is not easy. You need to build neural networks and set up huge data farms to analyze data, to build AIs. So the idea is, you build a solution that will replace humans, take care of little more complex activities that need humans today, that can be done by a computer tomorrow. Okay, so there are concepts called machine learning and deep learning, which in a small nutshell, it is a form of pattern analysis. You run through lots of data to find the right patterns and create algorithms that will emulate thinking for the computer. Okay, so this is a highly niche field. A lot of companies use it loosely, where AI is saying, okay, we do AI, but most of the times when they're saying AI, they actually mean RPA. And AI as in such is a hardcore field where only really uh, ambitious designers and really good designers will get into to build neural networks. So some of the common examples of proper AIs, that is legitimate AIs in the industry today, are Google search, especially the current generation of Google search, where it is not just based on keywords, but it also checks customer interactions, the number of times it's been used, and a lot of other parameters to give you your search based on your location, based on your search history, what you might want to see first. So it is not simply, the first page that comes with the word. If I'm searching for BMW, it would BMW page 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it will check my entire history. It will check how I've been using, what I want from the keyword, and then it'll give me the best result. The algorithm thinks that I want to see. So Siri, Alexa, I don't need to explain to you guys. They are the AI assistants, which in the background have huge processes and continuous learning and terabytes and terabytes of data every day to be able to understand your language, the way you talk, where you're from, and give you responses that are more than just a robotic response. So that is AI. 1 second. How do I? Okay, yeah. Apologize for any interruptions in between because I'm actually in the middle of my workday. So yeah, okay. So next is RPA, robotic process automation. Now, this is something a lot of companies, big and small, are actually using today. Something that you, even as freshers, as students, can actually build over the next 4 years, make solutions out of. Robotic process automation actually referred to bots. Okay, it is any activity or work that somebody does manually, repetitively, the same activity done again and again and again. I am making a bot or building a code or building a program or a tool to take that over, to take that manual effort over. Simple as that. A very common example would be, okay, I'm giving an idea for your final year project now itself. Huh? Every day, all the classes would have attendance that they're doing. So nowadays, most of the attendances are done in sheets and over the computer. So at the end of the day, it would be tallied manually and sent to a server where they will be saved on how many students came, how many did not. That can be automated because there are multiple professors spending half an hour or 1 hour in their day to do this activity and to try and to store the data. That is a perfect scenario for RPA, where you can build a program which would just manually check the details and tag PA, and give the number of P's and number of A's and show the list by itself. This is exactly same thing. Now you scale up to multi-billion-dollar companies. There are two things to do in RPAs. The main thing where you come in, where you will be able to set yourself apart from the others, is identifying what can be automated. Identifying an activity that can be easily automated. And second part is RPA, building a bot to do that activity. So today you might see any Amazon customer service or Flipkart customer service. When you go, first a bot talks to you because 50 to 80% of the information, this is all after data analytics, information that we need. For example, I want to know when is my order going to come? What is my order status? What is the price of this product? All of these don't really need a human to tell me. The data is already available on their site and servers. So they created a bot which will interact with you like a human and get you the details you need. And that last 20% where disputes because your product is broken and you need to show pictures and then a human judges it saying that yes, it is actually broken, we will give you a replacement. Those will finally go on to a human. So this is a very daily use of RPA and AI that you can actually see and experience every day. Customer service, chatbots, call center operations. When you call up Airtel, the first 10 sentences and 10 buttons you press are with a bot. It is not a human. Nowadays, it's like a freaking game because every time I call, if there's a problem with my network, it is like a puzzle. I don't know which option, 1 3 5 7 9 9 9 9 8 9, then maybe I'll get a human. So I have to call 5 or 10 times to find out the right sequence of operations to get to a human. It's like a race, but that is where the world is headed. So the effect of this, okay, I don't know. Yeah, I can share this because it is public domain. So the main reason why companies are investing so much in AI and RPA are essentially to reduce costs. So if you don't know, in the last 3 years, many BPO call centers in Philippines have been shut down because huge American banks like JP Morgan and American Airlines and all of these big companies used to have BPO farms over there, where there are people taking up calls and helping them and all. There was a project done by one of the leading AI companies and RPA companies where they built a solution where the entire Philippines division was just shut down, the call centers, the BPOs, because they had a bot now to do it, and that was done via Alexa using Amazon Alexa. So the world is headed in this direction for sure. AI and RPA are going to be the future. How and where it can be implemented, identifying and developing it is where the success lies. So if there are any of you who are interested in these robotic process automations and neural networks and all, use the resources in college very, very well, because once you leave, when you're in the public domain, when you're in your work and independent, they are really hard to come by, especially research papers and code that you require. So that's just an insider tip. Next slide, please. Yes, cloud computing and data sciences. This is another huge area that we're in right now. So most of you who will get into IT jobs will be, or technology jobs will be one of these three divisions. You might be in SAP, but you might be working for development or maybe for material management, some part of these three. Cloud computing is huge. Cloud computing, I think today in the 12th standard curriculum also they give a small overview. Okay, I'll give an open question. How many of you are familiar with what the cloud is? You can again give yes or no in the chat. It's quite entertaining to see a lot of no or yeses coming in the chat. Oh, fantastic. There is yes. A little bit, sir. Fantastic. Okay, no. Well, there's a fair bit of yeses for cloud. Okay. Okay. you guys you guys are actually so formal and so decent. If it was me at this point, I would have written yes, sir. It is what brings rain. Everybody knows clouds because clouds are what bring rain, which would have been the most corniest answer, but I would have done it nevertheless. Okay, so just to give you an overview, right? For those of you know, which is great. For those of you don't know, I'll try to give a simple analogy so you understand what the cloud is. So the reason why it's called a cloud is because in your mind's imagination, you can imagine it to be a cloud, something that you cannot touch, something that is virtually there, but something that holds data. So normal clouds are rain clouds, hold rain, hold water which falls down as rain. And similarly, in this way, we have a virtual server which is holding data. I call it virtual because the cloud is powered over the internet. So you can access the cloud over the internet, a virtual server layer. What some people don't realize is a cloud has to be powered by physical servers. So somewhere in the world, there is a server farm where data is actually getting stored into hardware. But when you have cloud computing, I can have half of a server in Germany, half of a server in India, half of a server in Australia, and I can host them all as one individual server cloud. Okay, and this becomes really powerful because one, I'm no longer physically what's the word for it, restricted to a particular server. My server can move between different physical locations as long as I move the data. The second thing is it allows me to use application and use software resources that I cannot locally use. For example, I don't know how many of you are into gaming, right? So let's say I'm having the latest Call of Duty game. So for those of you who don't know, if you need to run the latest Call of Duty game, you need, yes sir, fantastic. Call of Duty fans, I see. Okay, other people who game, like give a huge shout out. Oh, nice, yeah. There are gamers. Welcome, brothers and sisters. Okay, yeah. Yes, sir. Fantastic. Okay, so fantastic. Okay, so there are plenty of gamers. Okay, that's good to know. So now today, when I say the word game, most of you might directly go into mobiles. But I'm a 90s kid. So when I talk about game, it has to be a big computer, a fancy PC where something can play. So cloud computing, it applies on both. Okay, maybe computers or mobiles. Essentially, when you have a big game like Call of Duty, right? Your standard phone, if you have a small phone, a 4,000 or 5,000 rupee phone that does not have a good processor, it cannot process the graphics of the game. Similarly, if you have a basic laptop without an NVIDIA graphic card, a GT series graphic card, or an AMD processor, you cannot play Call of Duty properly. So the reason for that is you're limited by a physical hardware to play that game. Now, cloud computing completely changes that. What will happen in the future, what already companies like Google are experimenting with and releasing alpha beta versions of, is you can have a cheap computer, you can have a computer without a graphic card, but as long as you have a decent internet connection, I can play Call of Duty. Exactly, Google Stadia is a perfect beta example that is released in the US. So yeah, I will get to that. Yeah, that's a very good example I can say. So as I was saying, the Google were experimenting with it. The experiment is called Google Stadia. It is not released in India. It is not planned to be released in India. It's only in the US as of now, and it's under beta stage. Okay, so yeah, so huge softwares like that. So games, auto, what's that? The designing 3D software, bigger versions of Corel Draw, and 3D printing softwares. All of these things, it is too expensive for me to pay the license and get it for myself. But when it's over the cloud, I can rent it for only half. Exactly, AutoCAD. Thank you. Half of my brain is on the chat. Fantastic. Yeah, so these are softwares that require a lot of physical resources on my side. I need to invest a lot. But with cloud computing, that stops. So people who had never had the opportunity to play such big games or to invest in big computers to run AutoCAD will be able to use it on their normal laptop just by accessing the cloud. Have a decent internet connection of above 25 Mbps, it's good enough to run AutoCAD. So that is where this solution is extremely powerful, and that is where the world is headed. Because now, if you see, many people don't buy laptops anymore. They don't invest in big PCs they want to have, that setup. All of them are quite happy with good mobiles, decent mobiles, because pretty much anything from spreadsheets to when I'm on the go, when I'm traveling, if I need to make up a meeting, if I need to write mails, or if I need to process data, I can do it on my phone. So we are definitely moving into a future where mobile computing is going to be paramount. It will supersede laptops. Mobiles and tablets are the future. There you will find a scenario tomorrow where if you're in designing and you're designing a car and you need AutoCAD, you can do it over the cloud from a provider for dead cheap. We're talking like you can rent AutoCAD license a day for like 15 rupees, 20 rupees in the future, which is insane. So that is where this technology is huge. But something you need to understand, cloud computing, you're hosting a server, a virtual server, by using physical servers. And people access that server, which is virtual, which is why it's called the cloud. It's an invisible server that people can connect to, which can be spread over different physical locations. Really flexible. Again, you can also maintain your safety. You can upgrade your safety standards when it's on the virtual server. So all the companies now, even Accenture, even Amazon, all of them are moving to move all the data to the cloud or some version of a cloud. In India, just for your information, Amazon Web Services is one of the biggest cloud providers. They are the major player in the world over for cloud services. AWS, they are called. And then there's Microsoft Azure and then Google as well. So Amazon and Google are the biggest players in the world for cloud solutions. Okay, next slide, please. Oh yeah, there's a meme. Can you go back to the? I forgot I put a meme there. Can you go back to the previous slide, please? I'm sorry. Yeah, so there's a meme there. Stop saving all your stuff here. Love God. I don't know. I thought it was really funny because it kind of it plays on the cloud being the cloud and the cloud being a virtual server that God's standing on. So yeah, I love memes, guys. You should, if you like memes, you should hit me up. I don't know if Zoom allows to put memes, but feel free to drop memes on the Zoom here. Okay, next slide, please. Yeah, thoughts from an old man. Because let's face it, I am an old man. I'm like 29 years old now, and I'm done. Next slide. Yeah. So things that I've learned in my experience, being graduated from a degree that is very similar to yours, and my experience with the industry and the different departments and all the politics of it. I mean, we can go to the next slide, please. Yeah. So something you'll realize is yeah, I told you I'm a Harry Potter fan. Albus Dumbledore. Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. So communication, guys. Your HOD also mentioned it just before I joined in, where communication is important. It is extremely important to be able to communicate. Now, when I mean communicate here, the way you speak or the accent has little to do with it. But the class, I always use this word because I find it nice. The class with how you communicate is what will break barriers. When you write mails, always, even if you're writing informally, if you're writing to your college professor, make a habit from now itself to use full words. Never use small words where instead of writing SE, you put C. And for because you put BC. All these things, avoid shorthand. I'm telling you, it'll be really, really important in mails especially. And when you're communicating, if you feel that you need to develop your English, start reading some books, watch the BBC channel. All of these will help you increase your vocabulary, get you more confident. It is very important to have a friends group where you can converse in whatever language you need. I am quite fluent in Tamil, Malayalam, Hindi, and English, and I have to use it in my work every day because I have a team with around 15 or 17 people. Some of them who are not even here, so a little bit of French and Spanish also I had to learn to converse with them. So being a language, depending on the kind of work you're in, is important. If you're going to be a programmer and code, it is not as important to communicate, but mail communication is 100% important for any job. Even if you're going to start your own business, even if you're going to be a consultant or a programmer, learn to write mails properly. Always proofread and check. Even if you're sending a mail to your dad informally, hey dad, I checked this. This is the car that we need to buy for the family. These are specifications. Make a habit of reading through it once just to see if any spelling mistakes are there or anything, and send it. It'll really, really help you when you get into the corporate world. Okay, so keep that in mind. Next thing, very important thing I've learned: smart work before hard work. Everybody always tells us you need to be hardworking, you need to be hardworking. But I've learned, especially being in the industry and seeing how people come up, and my trajectory of how I've come up in the company. Always work smart before you work hard. Hard work is completely important. There are many days and nights I've spent up to 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the office, taking care of escalations and dealing with the clients and all of that. But most of the days where it's not required, you need to work smart. Think of the shortest and smartest way of completing a work. Because if you're going to do something the long way, it benefits nobody. It also consumes your time that you could have saved to maybe go home and play COD. Always smart work before hard work. This is something I've noticed. In today's world, it is a fashion to be lazy. It is cool to be lazy. Everybody's lazy at times. But anything and everything you have is a skill. There might be some of you who are really good in talking, really good in communicating. That is your strong point. There's some of you are extremely good at coding who don't like to talk or interact with people. But if I can give you a requirement or give you a game, you can sit and design it in 2 days. There are some others of you who are analytical. You can think analytically. Any problem I have, may it be a life problem, may it be a problem with my device, I can give it to you and you can fiddle around with it and find a problem for it. Each of you are strong in some things. Okay, it is up to you to identify them, because the reality of life is even our parents sometimes may not really know what our strengths are. Because let's face it, after a certain age, you don't get as close as you were to them. Or your teachers or your professors, they don't have enough time to find what that is in you. But you guys need to find out, especially in the next 4 years, what your strengths are and equip them. Find a way to use them for your career. That'll help you a lot. So, this particular message, those of you who are lazy, again, it is not wrong to be lazy. I applaud you guys. It is fantastic. Because in my experience, I've seen the best coders are lazy guys. Hands down. Can anybody tell me why this is? You can voice out your guesses also. It's okay. I mean, I'm almost at the end, so you can voice out. I don't mind you opening your mics and telling me. Why do lazy people make some of the best coders?
How to easily complete that work.
Yeah, you're hitting it exactly. Yeah. Fantastic. All of you seem to be very comfortable and are very, know very well about being lazy, huh? But yeah, you guys have hit the point right. Lazy people find the shortest way to get something done. Best example, my roommate and my best friend. I have like 3 friends in my life. You will learn that, when you go down in life for a certain number of years, your friends will filter out to the few friends who will stick with you no matter what. I have like 3 friends in my life, and one of them was my roommate of the last 6 years, 8 years, ever since I've been working. He is one of the most laziest men I know, and one of the best men I know. Like on the weekends, I'm always active. I need to travel here, backpack there, go try some new food or something. He would not get off the bed. He would call me in the middle when I'm out and say, "Okay, bring me lunch, bring me dinner," and I'd get it for him. I could not get him off the bed. He would be, but he is one of the best coders I know. Like hands down, multiple languages, multiple technologies. He would find a way to break it. So again, even laziness is a skill. That is the moral of what I'm trying to say. So think properly, use whatever resources are given to you to edify what you need to do. And to get to where the end of the game is success, right? Whatever that is. For some people, success is being a millionaire. For some people, success is having a family. For some people, success is retiring. Do not judge your success based on somebody else. Parents love doing that, teachers love doing that, that's okay. You define for yourself what your success needs to be and you work towards it. That is all that matters. Okay, next important thing, work-life balance. This is extremely important, guys. Yeah. Once you start working, some of you might get too involved in your work and you might not eat properly, or you might not, build your bonds with your friends properly, not take time off for yourself. You need to understand that really in the beginning itself, that there are certain lines you need to also focus on your health, on your relationships, and everything equally. One thing I will admit, when you move into most of the jobs today are sedentary. The entire point of progress over the last 100 years is that a man can complete an activity without doing as much physical effort as he was doing before. So even if you're not going to be in a computer job, if you're going to be a supervisor somewhere or in a manufacturing plant, or even in in a car factory, your job, most of it will be standing in one place or sitting in one place for 10 hours or 9 hours a day. Yeah, this is something that will really creep up on you once you start work after college. In college, you will have some kind of physical activity, either playing outside or going jogging or whatever. Make sure you build a habit in these 4 years in college so that you take it out with you when you start work. Otherwise, if you don't do it in college, when you start work, you will not find the time to cultivate that habit. Because let me tell you, whatever work it is, once you're done with a satisfying work day, you will feel like doing nothing else. Yeah, so it is true. Your parents and all the media would be saying, hey, you lose your health and you become big after work. It is actually true and it can happen. So be careful about that, guys. Make sure you spend time with your family and your parents, all of that, with your friends, and keep a work-life balance in college and after college as well. Because let's face it, you're going to be in your 20s only once in your lifetime, and you need to make sure that you enjoy it as well as equip for your future. Next 2 points are very strong and a little more geared towards all the girls who are going to be in the corporate tomorrow. Yeah, be polite but decisive. Stand up, speak up. I'm not going to lie, or I'm not going to mince words. Once you're out on your own, once you finish college and you get into a company, you are independent. There will not be a support system as such. And we live in a very chauvinistic world. No matter what female power and all the world says, girls and even some men for that matter, depending on who your leads are, who your managers are, you will face some kind of challenges that you might have not been exposed to before. What is really important is you guys understand that your honor and your peace of mind comes first before anything. In college itself, learn to be bold. If you feel you have an idea that's different, feel free to at least voice it out, to be heard, but always be polite. There are certain ways of doing it. For me, I have, my team is a maximum number of girls who are, fresh out of college. And they would bring their friends in other teams and other companies who are facing some horrible situations. And there's nobody they can reach out to. And then I'll have to start the letter to the HR or all those cases. So these things do happen. So build a good support system. These things can happen in college as well, or even when you're outside doing an internship. The world is like that. Let me be very frank with you. The world is not a bed of roses. The world is challenging. It is not. There is a certain degree of safety, a certain degree of risk. But use these 4 years when you're in a safe environment, when you're surrounded by professors, when you're surrounded with all the all the what's the word for it, all the facilities given to you. Make good use of it. Train yourselves for communication. Train yourselves for finding the right balance of right and wrong. It'll be really, really helpful for you, not only for work, for whatever career you're going to be in, but for life. Yeah. Be respectful to your professors, to your parents. Find, even if you're not close to them, some important things have to be shared with them, just so you can get the right advice and get. At the end of the day, you will do what you need to do. You're an adult, so no one can control what you end up doing. But it's always good to take advice from people or ask for suggestions from people who might have faced it before. So those barriers are usually there at this when you're young, and it will break by force when you grow older, or you can learn to break it little by little here and become smarter before you grow old. Yeah. Next thing, analytical thinking, problem solving. Be adaptable. This is extremely important. No matter where we go, it's just general good advice. Guys, girls, whoever you are, learn some basic things in the next 4 years when you go between home and college. Learn how to change the tire of a car. Learn how to fix small devices, like if it's a light bulb or things like that. Small practical things learn. Work on some puzzle books. Develop your aptitude thinking. Because I'll tell you something, irrespective of whatever technology you're going to work with or whatever company you're going to be in, be able to solve problems is something that is common in every technology. So even if you don't know a particular a programming language or a technology, but you can think in an analytical way, you can do well there. Honestly, this is my testament, because that's my strong point. I'm a good problem solver. So even if there's another person from another technology who asks me from another project, I can help them find a way around it. So I'm telling you from experience, do those things, learn those things. And again, basic life skills, guys, if you have never cooked an omelet in your life or never, heated bread or boiled water, I beg of you, please do that. It'll be really, really helpful once you graduate to know how to boil water, make idlis or make dosas, and some basic things. Girls and guys as well, yeah. But, you know, next, the last one is responsibility before desire. This is something I personally follow. And I would like to share it with you. It is up to you guys if you take it. Whatever you do in life, make sure your responsibilities are first completed before you do what you desire. Simple as that. You're in college. If your responsibility is to give back to your parents who have put you in college, and the professors who are going to invest in you for the next 4 years, their time, their efforts, their voice, their blood, sweat, and tears, yeah, to get your degree without arrears and the best CGPA possible for you, and give it to them. And then find your balance. Now, in the first year, you finish your semester exam, then in the break, you want to go on a trip to the Himalayas or go for movies, hang out with friends, perfectly okay. There is a time for work and time for play. And I know it can be irritating when, parents and teachers say it, because it seems like, the same nail they keep hitting, even after the nail has gone into the wood, they keep hitting. But it's okay. You guys said that for yourself. Always first finish responsibility, then you can enjoy without any issues. Because I'm somebody, if I go for a trip without finishing my work that I had to finish, the entire trip I'll be like, no, I should not have left it. No, I should have not told my dad I would do that work and I leave it like that. No. If I'm enjoying, I like to enjoy with peace of mind. So I complete my responsibility and work, and then you go ahead and do what you need to enjoy. You want to go on a biking trip, you want to go to another country, or you want to intern in a garage, that's okay. It's up to you. Do whatever you need to do, as long as you're not hurting anybody, or or hurting yourself. Enjoy properly. Enjoy your life and enjoy your work. So I think that's about it. I'm sorry if I took a lot of time, or if it's too much gyan, or if I bored any of you. I genuinely apologize. I'll leave an open forum now for a few minutes if anybody has any questions. As you may know from the presentation that I did, it does not have to be typically technology related. It can also be, yeah, informal. So please go ahead. The next slide, please. Yeah, the last slide. Yeah, thank you and all the best. You guys are at a good place at 2020. When the entire year has gone to hell, you guys have done a good thing and you've ended up in a good college. So make the best out of it, and I hope to see you again probably in the future as fantastic professionals and successful people. Yeah. Yes, please. Yeah. Now I'll leave the forum open to questions if anybody is there.
Good afternoon, sir.
Oh, I don't have. I'm doing it from my work laptop, so there's no access to the video camera, to the webcam, because of client data protection. Yeah. So I
Afternoon, sir.
apologize for that. I can only take up. Yeah. Please go ahead. Yes. Who is this?
Yeah, I'm Ratan, sir. Yeah, I
Yeah.
have a doubt
Go ahead.
related program languages, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, now which is the program is demanded by the company, sir? Like which is the program which is more demanded? Language.
If you look at it, again, if you're going to end up in ERP, Java is one of the best fundamentals for ERP base. Any ERP base uses Java and database for its fundamental core architecture. Yeah. If you're going towards a website where, Amazon-based web services and everything, Python is a major player today for all data sciences and web-based developments and all of that. So Python, again, fundamentally, it would boil down to your basic languages that you learn. From what I've experienced, because see, languages tomorrow, there can be a new Python plus plus, or somebody will release Venom or Viper. But C++, Java, and database management, data structures, these four topics, அப்படியே கரைச்சு குடிச்சிருங்க. என்னதான் program language இருக்கட்டும், நீங்க செம்மையா அடிக்கலாம், பிரச்சனை இல்லை.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm comfortable with even Malayalam or Hindi and Tamil, guys. So you can feel free to ask questions in that language as well. So if any questions of, I mean, this degree, what I need to do to go into this kind of work, or anything informal at all, you can also feel free, or else we can close the session. I can see somebody's video. I'm sorry, am I going overboard on the time? Do I need to close now?
No,
Or
sir.
can I take 5 minutes for a question session?
Not an issue, sir.
Yeah? All right, perfect.
Ask, sir.
Yeah, guys, if you're comfortable to talk over here, I would love to hear your voice and answer, or else you can write it down on the chat as well. Okay, I think I think all our people are good. People are good to go. All right, guys, I would just how to master myself in coding. Janeshwaran. The answer is the same to master yourself in anything. It is just practice and exposure. As far as you're concerned, if you're going to be coding in a certain language, it's always better to visit online forums and see what new people come up with, the new functions they come up with. Yeah, so for how to master myself in coding, it is just practice, my friend. Practice and exposure. Go through your textbooks first. After you're done with the textbooks, go online. Read books and functions that the colleges don't teach. More complicated ones. You are good in a program once you can start creating your own functions, your own libraries, which anybody else can use. So once you can code up to a certain level, start making open source libraries, open source programs, which you can publish online so other people can also use. They will provide feedback which will really help you improve your own program as such. That's always a good way. Getting other people's opinions on programs is always a good way to learn more. How many languages is to know to enter the per annual 8 lakh companies? To be very frank, any multinational company, English is enough. Any other languages that any regional language? Oh, sorry, when you mean language, do you mean the verbal language, or do you mean programming language? Coding language, yeah, fantastic. I'm sorry, yeah. So again, as I said, C++, Java, database management, data structures. These four, irrespective of languages, you're good to go. Any one or two languages, may it be Python or some other, at least two languages, you have to be quite fluent at. And that will ensure you have. So nowadays, companies have multiple rounds of interviews, because even if they see you're good at some language and not the language they're using, they're okay to take you, because they know that your skills can be ported onto their language. So if you're going to go into coding, it is always better to be good at some particular concepts, really good at some particular concepts, and exposed generally to the rest. Yeah. Do you think machines can ever be smarter than humans? To be very frank, I genuinely do think machines can be smarter than humans. I'll give you a proper example. If I ask you right now, my friend, what's his name? Santosh. Sai Santosh. Yeah. Uh, what is 856 times 13,853? You have already taken 3 seconds, but my calculator can do it for me in 1 second. So machines are definitely capable of being smarter. At least, but the thing is, they are smarter for instructions that we pre-program. As a human can and take decisions tomorrow, we don't know, but the way we are going, definitely machines will reach to a point where they can do things much faster and quicker than us. It is inevitable. Can our programs be patterned? Can you elaborate on what that means? I'm unclear with that question. Again, for most jobs, these four are enough, because see, if you learn Java properly, you can do Android coding, because Android coding is essentially based on Java structures, right? Yeah. And then if you learn C, most of your databases and even IBM main frameworks use a lot of the C core architecture, ASTM, and all of these executable files are all based on C. So C++, Java, C. When I mean C++, C is already covered. So yes, they are good enough for a good, strong fundamental. Everything else can be built from that. So if you're good on these, anything else that is taught, data structures or new programs like Python, all of it, the way the program works would essentially be the same. How is GPT-3, sir? How is it changing coding? I'm sorry, man. I've Gautam. I'm not sure of what you mean by GPT-3, or I've not been exposed to it. So I apologize. How to overcome difficulties in putting your idea precisely in a programming window. Okay, so that question is particularly what I do. We're really coding as you enter the college. Okay, guys, if I'm sorry, I feel weird when you're waiting. Are you waiting for me to complete the person on stage? Yeah, the person with the blue shirt. I'm so sorry, I don't know your name.
No, sir. No, sir. You can continue.
No? Okay, I don't know, yeah, because I don't want to make anybody wait. You can please confirm with the HOD. I'll continue only if it's okay.
You can continue, sir.
Or else I'll close.
Not issue at all.
Okay, all right, perfect, yeah. So guys who are asking the questions here, please feel free to talk to me if you have a mic. It'll be quicker so we can converse better as well. Huh?
Sir, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. Go ahead.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. Sir, actually, I want to know what platform do you suggest for a better coding experience, sir?
When you mean platform, I would generally suggest the Java Python route, because you can use different IDEs for it. Nowadays, you have Eclipse IDEs, and better than that, in your latest versions, where coding becomes pretty easy when you're building end-to-end applications on your own. The best way to start is, I would suggest the easiest way to get into platform-based applications is Android. It's completely freeware. You can get the IDE as well as the source packages for free, and you can experiment building from there. And that will give you a very good example of how you make an end-to-end tool or a web-based integrated tool. So
Yes,
at
sir.
your college, yeah.
Sir, and I have another doubt also, sir. Sir, like
Mm-hmm.
if I'm interested to do some projects and I require
Yeah.
high-level coding for that, and I have to put in the coding window in a good manner. So how can I do it? Is it out of practice, or do we need a lot of concepts to get us through that?
There are two aspects for any kind of coding, yeah. So even the R language, what I'm saying, R language is a little more specific. Again, if you're going to specialize in it good, you need to find companies and jobs that that want R programming to be done for the person on the chat. So the question you asked me, bro, what's your name?
Sir, I am S. Pranav.
Sorry,
Sir.
Pranav. Yeah, Pranav. So the question you asked broadly answers a lot of the questions you're asking. Any program, there are two facets. When you're a coder, there are two things that are paramount. One, knowing the coding basics, the coding rules, the coding laws, how to write if-else statements, what are nested for loops. These are concepts you cannot change. They are the basic building blocks that work a particular way, right?
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes,
one.
sir. Yes, sir.
That's the fundamentals that you learn. The second part, the most important part, where you make your signature as a programmer, is the way you think, thinking out of the box. I can give two people one if-else statement and one for loop and give them a requirement. One person might use two if-else statements and one for loop. The other person might use one if-else and two for loops.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
The
sir.
originality comes in the way you code and what people are looking for. Like if you want to go into game designing or applet designing and all those things, what really sells is how you can meet the requirement in the least amount of code possible.
Yes, sir. And the efficiency
Simple as
also
that. The
matters,
least
no, sir.
amount of code possible. Exactly, yeah, efficiency. Yeah. Least amount of
Yes.
code. When I mean that, it means efficiency. I think what you're talking about is also run times and how much threads are being used and all of that.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So that only comes in when you can think out of the box. You can write a sample program using all your for loops and if-else statements, but if it's running for 10 seconds when I press a button, it does not make sense. It should run when I press a button within milliseconds. It should be able to give me an output.
Mm-hmm.
That is where your thinking, your originality, your creativity comes in. Programming is an extremely creative thing for people who are in coding because they like it. It is for them. I know a few coders like that. It is like an artist doing a painting, or a person who likes writing songs, writing a song and singing it. Coding is an extremely creative thing, and if you are one of those people, learn to write apps and experiment with creating apps, because you get a very, very real feel for how the code you've written is taking so much time to give the result, or how the code you've written is taking more threads than it should require.
Yes, sir.
So when you build something completely basic, maybe a simple calculator program,
Yes,
version
sir.
1 you do will take 1 second to process. Version 2 you will bring it to 0.5 seconds. Version 3, that is the best learning curve where you can get your hold on any programming language.
Yes, sir. So,
You learn to optimize yourself.
So any coding requires the basics and fundamentals, right now, sir? So
Yeah.
that's more important.
Yeah, that
Thank
is
you,
where
sir.
it is extremely important. Yeah, in the college, what they teach you, it's extremely important you focus because the fundamentals are given there.
Yes, sir.
Your college cannot teach you how to think and how to optimize code. That is something you guys need to figure out for yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. All right, man. Yeah. All the best, bro. Yeah. Take care. So another
Thank you,
one
sir.
question I think I'll take last. How to yeah, bro. Yeah. Take care. How to overcome difficulties in pro. Whoever you are, who wrote that question, please? Can you come on chat or on the mic? Okay, it's all right. So that is what algorithm is for. Any of you, before you code, before you start writing or making a program by yourself, please write an algorithm. So for me, my entire job, my entire design work of solutions runs on algorithms. How best I can write an algorithm, and I write very detailed algorithms. Step 1, step 2.1, 2.2, 2.1a, 2.2. So when my adapter, when my developer gets it, he has no questions for me. Whatever question he has, my algorithm should answer. Your algorithm is the logical framework you're writing for your algorithm with a lot of steps. Even if it's a simple program, make maximum steps possible in your algorithm. You will be able to translate steps of those algorithms into your fundamental blocks, which are your conditional statements, your loops, your classes, all of that. So I hope I've answered your question. Always write an algorithm before you code. It it is not for your professors or for your company. It is for yourself. To scribble it in a small note, so you have a very clear structure. Because I've seen this actually happen when my programmers are writing code for more than 100 lines of code. By the time they reach line 50, line 60, they forgot what the remaining should be. So it is extremely important that you write the framework first as an algorithm and then you start coding, so you can keep tabs on it. Okay. Okay, guys, I think I've superseded by 15 minutes. I am so sorry, admins and coordinators. Oh, the feedback, yeah. Thank you, everybody, for your time. Thank you for your patience so much. I apologize if I've been boring or bored anybody out, but yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Leslie Kumar. Thank you for very much connecting with the students. Thank you, students, for your wonderful interaction and the questions. I leave it to Aravind to go ahead further.
Okay, ma'am, Arvind, I'll have to leave now because I'm still on my work day. I've got another meeting exactly 12:45.
Okay, sir. Thank you for sparing your time despite your work schedule, sir.
Yeah.
Forward to
Thank you, everybody. Yeah. Take care, everybody. Yeah. God bless you all. Yeah. Take care. Stay safe. Bye.
Bye-bye. So that's the end of resource person session. As Earl Nightingale quotes, 1 hour per day of study in your chosen field is all it takes. 1 hour per day of study will put you at the top of your field within 3 years. Within 5 years, you will be a national authority. In 7 years, you can be one of the best people in the world at what you do. Okay, we have such enlightened students. Among them, here we have Ms. Sheba of 3rd year CSE, who is the class topper and also the Joint Secretary of Students Union of PSG Tech. Ms. B.R. Umayal of 2nd year CSE, who is also a class topper and a multi-talented personality. And Mr. Shubham Ghosh, who is also a very studious person and good at coding. So here are the guys to interact with you. So Sheba, Umayal and Shubham Ghosh, you can connect to them and you can interact with the first year students.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. So, hello guys. Am I audible?
Yes, sister.
So, yeah, I'm Sheba and I'm currently doing my 3rd year CSE here at PSG. So, before going ahead, I would like to extend a warm welcome to every person present here. And I also extend a warm gratitude for giving me this beautiful opportunity to address the freshers. So, with this COVID pandemic, like everything. So I think I'm getting some issues with my internet connectivity.
It's audible now, Sheba. You can proceed.
Yeah, sure, sir. So with this COVID pandemic, like we all have entered a new normal and like most of you would not even have seen your classmates. So I would recommend that you guys start connecting virtually and get to know about each other soon. And it's also very important that you get to connect with other department students, because it will be very helpful when you do interdepartment projects. And like try to get involved in more interdepartment projects. Like in our college, we have the Velocita racing cars, rover team, and so on. Because like it will give you a very nice exposure. Then regarding academics, like most people will give very less importance to internals. Like they will just study one night before the internals and will think that they can study properly for the SEM. But this is not at all going to help you. Because anything that you do in the last moment will not help you out. So try to revise all the points for the internals itself. So that like when you work out for the SEM, it will be very useful. Then start to explore more and more, like in whatever field you're interested in, keep exploring more and more. Then and we are also like very really so gifted to have such wonderful faculties. Like you can approach them anytime and they will always be glad to help you with anything. Then try to participate in many extracurricular activities in your first and second year itself, because like you have to concentrate more on your placements in your third year. And we have so many clubs in our college. So try to take up responsibilities, like get involved in club activities, try organizing little events from your club. And then most important of all, like being a CSE student, it's very, very important that you do regular coding and you practice coding every day. So try to be active on several coding platforms like CodeChef, HackRank, and so on. Then also try preparing gate questions, and they can be very useful at the time of placements. Then you need not be so stressed about anything. Like you can just chill out. It's just that you don't procrastinate things. Like do your daily works then and there and concentrate on your studies. At the same time, enjoy your college life also. You can always feel free to approach your seniors anytime and stay in touch with them. Like we are always here to help you out, guys, and you need not be so formal with us. Like, so do approach us like whenever you feel like. So yeah, thank you. And if you have any queries, like you can ask at the end after Umayal and Shubham completes their interaction.
Hi guys, I'm Umayal. So I'm from second year CSE. First of all, welcome to PSG. It's a wonderful institution. So I'm going to share my experience. So I'm assuming there'll be a lot of you from the hostel and then few of you are day scholars. So something that I'd like to tell you is whichever you are right now, it doesn't make much of a difference. But towards the third year, it would be great if you could like go to the hostel, because there are few advantages that I feel, because I'm a hosteler myself. So I think few advantages are, one, you can study together. When you study together, you clear like others' doubts, and like your doubts get cleared when you talk to everyone. So it's very useful. And then there are many other advantages, like you'll have a lot of fun time in the hostel. So like before an exam, when you're all studying, you're sitting in a group and studying, you'll never feel that it's a pressure or something like that, because all of you are doing the same thing and all of you are getting prepared together. So it's really useful. And then even like day scholars in the first few years, what you can do is if you have a project or something like that, we have facilities to pay and stay like for a day, but then you have to get permission, and please make sure you're coming for like an actual purpose and you're not coming just for having fun. You have to get signatures from your teachers when you want to come. And then after that, for exams, don't study like how Shibaka told, don't study the day before the exam. It's definitely not going to help you. And what happens is when you're preparing for your final exam, you have everything together which you did in that SEM. So if you prepare like in parts, in the end, it's going to be easier for your university exam. And the thing is, in the first year, your portions are relatively much easier, and usually your CGPA will be the maximum in the first year. So if you want to like prepare well, it's best to like start in the first year. And then there we have many fests also. Like we have Yuktaha, Advaya. So Yuktaha, we have it's a technical symposium. So you'll have students from all colleges and all that, and Advaya is more of a cultural. And then you have clubs. So guys, please join like maximum of like 3-4 clubs which you're actually interested in. Don't join a club because your friend is joining it, because you don't want it to become a burden. Clubs is actually like a break from your regular schedule, but it's still interesting and it's fun to learn. So that's the purpose of your club. And then after that, for hostel students, you also have something called hostel day. So in hostel day, what happens is you get like amazing lunch or dinner, and then you have a lot of activities like, you know, there's dancing, singing, and it's a really lot of fun. And I would advise all of you to like stay in the hostel at least for a year. And then coming to language, so all of us are from different states. I'm pretty sure that not everyone is from Tamil Nadu. And even if you have like, you can speak only Tamil or you have issues with Tamil both ways, it's okay. It's not a problem. Like I myself, even Shubham is, he's not from Tamil Nadu. So we don't know Tamil that much, but it isn't an issue. And even there are many Tamilians who are not very comfortable with English. That's also not an issue. So first thing, your teachers will mostly communicate in like English. And if you want them to explain something to you again, then you can always go ahead and ask them and they'll tell you. So even though we have online classes, we ping our tutors privately, like when we have doubts, and they'll call you back and explain it to you. That's how lucky we are. So like use the best of it is what I can say. And then after that, I'm sure there will be many of you from a bio background and many of you from a computer background. Honestly, that doesn't make much of a difference. Because like initially bio students, okay ma'am, I'll start my video. Hi guys, yeah. So what I would like to say is like bio-comm background doesn't matter that much. So mostly what's the most important thing is you make sure all computer students are helping your bio peers. And the other thing is you don't have to wait like till it's taught in class. You have so many websites. You have NPTEL, Coursera, and you have Udemy. So you can just register for those courses and it will be really useful. So that's what I would say. And then after that, you have many websites like CodeChef, HackerRank. So try and like make sure you're working over there. So what you can do is in HackerRank, you have basic level programs to like very high-end programs. So try and like start with your basic level and do it regularly. Don't sit and do everything on a day because like you're a human, you can't do everything in one day, right? And then after that, work on your aptitude. Like your aptitude will be useful for your placements and for your higher studies. And decide whether you want to like take higher studies or you want to take up placements by at least your second year, so that you know what you're preparing for. And then after that, interact with other departments like what Shibaka said, because any project will not have only coding. You need both, even the hardware part of it, right? So and then you'll have IVs. So IVs are like they're trips, but then you will learn also during those trips. So it's actually a lot of fun. So usually what happens is you'll you'll have a class representative who you'll elect, and then the class representative and other few students will plan like an IV, and then you can enjoy all that. So what I can say is study hard also, like study every day. It's very important. And also go for like sports, like especially girls, because we have very few girls who actually go for sports. Like in our basketball team, we have exactly like 8 people. So it's definitely, so sports is really important, obviously. And then like do it for an hour and also study the same day. Do both. Both are equally important. And this is all I have to say. Any doubts you can ask like once Shubham's done. Shubham, over to you.
Okay, I hope that I'm audible. So let me start off by saying congratulations for getting into this college. Okay, start my video. Yeah, so I hope I'm visible and audible. So first of all, I'd like to congratulate all of you. You're into a really great college actually. And as Umayal mentioned, I'm not from here. I'm from West Bengal. So, you know, my name might be a kind of weird to you. So, being from other state, I really didn't feel any kind of difference over here. It's just the same for everyone. Like the teachers are really, really helpful always. You can approach them at any time, even during like 8 p.m. or something like that. They will always be more than willing to help you. So you have to take advantage of it. And one more thing I'd like to mention is you're not only here to study and get a degree. What your main objective is to like learn a lot of things and come out as a better individual, as a better human being at the end of the 4th year. So that's what your main goal should be. So first year subjects, as Umayal mentioned, are simple, but physics is the, I mean, it's kind of tricky, but still it's interesting nonetheless. So also, as far as the academics goes, like internals will be there. At that time, you might feel some pressure during the lab times, like the practicals and all, you might feel some pressure, but that's completely normal. And that will happen in each and every course you take. So you have to deal with it. But the best thing is you study each day and not like you study at the last night. That is not at all recommended, and don't do that. So related to your subject CSE, I'd like to say that those fellows from the biology background, you don't worry, because we all are the same, right? Like there's no problem if you don't know anything about programming and all. You'll be learning once the course actually starts. So, and those of you who know, I'd recommend you to start coding, like you'll be having Python in first semester. So start coding, like implementing some mini projects, even if it is like adding 2 numbers, that is also correct. You can do that. So I'd like to like encourage you to do coding each and every day, implement mini projects and such. So it will be really helpful when it comes to exams, like those who are taking for, those who are opting for higher education and those who are opting for placement. Both of them, it will be very, very useful. So implement a lot of mini projects and stuff. Make sure you're proficient in at least one language. So it is important, because at the end of the day, you are all CSE graduates, right? You'll be, so you should be proficient in at least one language. Also, I'd like to mention that you should be attending workshops a lot. Like many workshops will be conducted in other colleges. Like attend the workshops once the college reopens and once the situation normalizes. Coding contests are there, which will be happening online. Like many platforms will be there. Best of them is, I think, CodeChef, because they will be conducting a lot of coding competitions, and most of them will be happening online, right from your home and right from your laptop, so you can have easy access to them. Internships are something which you should be definitely taking part in. So do as many internships as possible and make sure that you learn something in each one of them. It's not like you're attending an internship just for the sake of it. You should be learning something. That's the primary objective of coming to college in the first place. Then if I talk about labs and all, labs are like really well equipped and you will be having a lot of fun doing the experiments. So that's the thing. In CSE itself, we have many labs, and you'll be provided with challenging yet fun experiments to do, which will be testing your presence of mind and stuff. And I'm a hosteler, so hostel life in one word is like really fun. So it will be good for you, but let me be very honest, there will be some distractions. So you should look out for it. And there will be hostel days as well, in which basically you'll be getting good food and you'll be having a lot of fun. So that's the thing. In hostel, what I would recommend is you study each day, as I mentioned earlier, but have fun also, because you're not here just to study, right? You should be having fun as well, but see to it that the fun is in no way greater than the amount of time you spend for your study. Okay, like you should be studying at least 1 hour each day, right? So it will be better for you and you won't be feeling pressure in that way. So that's the thing. And regarding fests, you will be having 2 major fests, Advaya and Yuktaha. So in these, you will be having a lot of fun. If possible, you take part in them. And you'll be also having some clubs, like photography club is there, Hindi club is there, dance club is there, music club is there. So you should take part in at least 2 of them. So it will be really, really useful for you. And once again, you should take part to learn something and not just for the sake of it. For example, if you're taking part in photography club, you actually make sure that that you are learning something. You are learning to take photographs. You are learning to manipulate images and videos using Photoshop and Premiere Pros and stuff. So the main goal of yours should be to learn something, not something, a lot of things at the end of the day. So that it will be, so that you will be becoming a versatile person in the end of the 4th semester. And that's all I have to say. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Any queries you want the answer to, you can
Thank you,
ask.
Shiba, Umayal, and Shubham Ghosh for the wonderful inputs. I think pretty much they have covered everything. Thank you very much for covering right from how to prepare for internal test and how to participate in co-curricular, extracurricular, and club activities. We have around 24-25 club activities. I think freshers, you will be having another session where the students union members will be talking to you about the different activities done in different clubs. Shubham Ghosh, only one correction what you have said. You should not be proficient in only one language. You should be proficient in at least 4 languages, I will say. C, C++, Python, and Java, all 4 are frequently asked in placement. So you should be proficient in 4 languages. That is my request to students. You have to start focusing on sharpening your coding skills right from day 1. Okay, thank you very much. If you have any queries to 2 of your senior students, Umayal and Shiba and Shubham Ghosh, you can unmute and ask. We will quickly wind up after this Q&A session.
So, any queries to your seniors you want to get to know about from your seniors? You can ask.
When would be the right time to coding? Today, right now, you should be coding. Start from today itself. It will be the best actually. Start as early as possible. So if not today, at least from a week from now, you should be starting. At least if you don't know anything, you should be starting to read what actually coding is. You read some books like how to get started with coding. You have the access to internet, right? So that is the best place to get started with. So yeah.
Good afternoon, bro. And Akash. Yeah. And I have a doubt. Like we'll be doing projects, right?
Yeah.
Like can we interact with seniors, or it is necessarily to be done within our class?
No, you can interact with anyone. To get help, you can interact with anyone. You can interact with me, you can interact with your teachers, you can interact with Dr. Google as well. So you can interact with anyone actually. So that's not a problem.
Yeah.
I'm a biology student. I don't know anything about coding, how to start doing that. See, I told you there's absolutely nothing to worry about, because see, programming language is just like normal spoken languages, right? In English, we are not born with English or any language, right? We just imitate others and learn. So you should be start from the very basics. Even if it is like, even if you feel it is stupid, you just start. That's the thing. Once you get started, it will be very easy for you. Start from what you have access to YouTube. You search coding on YouTube and click on the first video. From where?
Yeah, and then regarding like the coding, like which language to start, like Python is very easier to learn, but it is mandatory that you have good knowledge on C and C++, because that's the basic thing. So with the base, like you can develop more. So you have to master like C, C++, and Python.
And guys, like in our class itself, we have 35 bio students and 25 computer students. So if you're a bio computer student, it doesn't matter much. And rather, like if you want to learn from somewhere, you can learn, like you can start with NPTL. They start from the basics. So you can register in a course. It's free. NPTL is free. And right now, I think even Coursera is free for some time. Udemy has paid courses.
And but like college life is like you have to learn things by your own. Like you have to put effort, take interest, and try learning lots of new things.
You all have knowledge in coding as you just entered into college? Of course not. We did not have any kind of knowledge in coding actually. So don't think that we are from CSE background, so that's why we are having like 10 degrees in coding. No, it's not like that. We all were very naive when we came to the college. We were just like you. So no, we did not have any knowledge at all. So to answer your question.
Okay, to add to that, thank you for all your answers, Shiba, Umayal, and Shubham Ghosh. See, people were started asking, did you have the coding knowledge right from the day one when you started? Obviously, no. See, if you take me, I am also from a rural background, and I am coming from biology and maths background. Okay, very, very rural background. Those I completed my BE in 1990, in 94. Okay, that time what languages we have learned? Basic, Fortran, Prolog, Cobol, that's it. Okay, C, C++, Java and all that we have learned afterwards. So there is no end for learning. Okay, typically to learn a language, I would say it requires just 7 days to learn the features, but to master it, to be expertise, to be an expert in a particular language, definitely you need to have executed at least 10 to 15 large projects. Okay, only then you will be very you will be having a expertise domain knowledge in that particular language. So you don't worry about when should we start coding, or whether we will be able to pick up coding and all that. See, everything comes from practice. Okay, so be open-minded, be have the right attitude to learn the language. Definitely coding, if you are very good at, if you have analytical mind, I am sure with your cutoffs and with your mathematical background, you all have analytical skills. If you are very good in analytical and maths, definitely programming is also easy for you. It comes with practice. The thing is, we need to spend sufficient time and put up sufficient efforts in learning and getting the particular skill. That's it. Yeah, any other questions? I think we are moving more closer to the lunch hour. If you have a couple of questions, questions, please go ahead. We'll wind up with 1 or 2 questions.
Yeah, sure. Like you can start Python courses, and even in college in first sem itself, like we have Python in our college academics. Yeah, sure. Of course, you can learn anything at any time. And for beginners, I would say like you can start practicing with practice level programs from Code Chef and then HackerRank and so on. Yes. Like once you enter college in first sem, you'll surely have Python programming language. And like with that, you can side by side practice coding in these coding platforms that I have mentioned earlier.
இந்த படத்துல வந்து கடைசில அவ லவ் பண்ணுவேன்னு சொல்லுவா, நான் இதை அக்செப்ட் பண்ண மாட்டான்.
Don't be so angry. Shiva, hey dear mother, your brother did not do it. Why don't you build another tower? I don't want to help that.
Okay, thank you, Shiba, Umayal, and Shubham for interacting with our newcomers. Okay, so thank you guys.
Thank you, sir.
So திணை துணை நன்றி செய்யினும் பனை துணையாய் கொள்வர் பயன் தெரிவர். ஒருவர் செய்யும் திணையளவு நன்மையை கூட அதன் பயனை அறிந்தவர் பல பயன்களை தரும் பனை மரம் அளவுக்கு உயர்ந்து போற்றுவர். Develop an attitude of gratitude and thank everyone, knowing that every step forward is towards achieving something bigger and better than the current situation. Now I call upon Mr. C.P. Shabariram, Assistant Professor, Senior Grade, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, to propose the vote of thanks.
Yeah, respected chief guests, HOD, and faculty members. It's my immense pleasure to propose vote of thanks for this Department Orientation Program. So I would like to thank our beloved principal, Dr. P.V. Mogan Ram sir, and Vice Principal, Dr. G. Chandramohan sir for their continuous encouragement. I express my sincere thanks to our HOD, Dr. R. Manimeglai, for their continuous support. On behalf of PSG iTech management and PSG iTech team, I express my special thanks to our today's chief guest for their wonderful speech. I express my sincere thanks to our faculty colleagues and our technicians and who are all supported indirectly. Finally, I would like to thank my dear students for your active participation. Along with that, I want to give my special appreciation to our seniors, that is your seniors, second year as well as third year students. Thank you guys. Once again, I thank everyone. Thank you all.
So on this greater outset, I wishing you all a very happy learning ahead. So set aside and explore the technical and cultural extravaganza at your 4 years of stay at PSG iTech. Okay. So connect back to the respective Zoom meet links by 2:15 p.m. for sports and other facilities. So stay home, stay safe, enjoy your learning. This is Aravind signing off. Thank you.